if you want to be a jack of all trades and go into like, concept art, sometimes you need to have a little more varied skills. But if you want to be an illustrator for fantasy, you can kind of niche down and go towards studying things that relate to the art you want to do. So I guess that's my biggest advice.
That's that's very helpful, I imagine, for people in the audience that are considering that as a vocation, because I work a lot as a life and career coach, and one of the things that I'm very big on is helping people find that direction, particularly in the beginning, because nowadays, oftentimes we're told that you can do anything, which is true, but you can't do everything, so to speak. And so I know that even with a concept, we use the concept of jack of all trades, but there is something to be said about having a couple niches, because what I've noticed is that having a direction is super important, because you have potential, particularly if you're naturally drawn to creative pursuits. You probably have a lot of raw potential, but that potential needs to be shaped in some way or form and actually become something. So I've become a big fan of niching down. Ideally, at least from my perspective, I find it's helpful to do that as early as you can, because at least that will give you a track to follow, and that will kind of eliminate a lot of the auxiliary anxiety that comes with it and the pressure of having to develop yourself as an artist, I would imagine.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I almost wish I would have like found my vision sooner. Like honestly, the sooner the better, like so you can just really focus in on that thing, cuz I think being super skilled in an area is just more helpful than ever these days with jobs and with careers, like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
really knowing something super super well. Um so yeah, I agree.
yeah, yeah. So moving on now to the final pillar, which is beauty. And I always love to talk about things that are true, good, and beautiful. And I have always found that good art can communicate those three virtues, so to speak, the true, the good, and the beautiful. What do you think about those three concepts? Like, what does it mean for something to be true? What does it mean for something to be good? And what does it mean for something to be beautiful?
Yeah. Well, I mean, all those things are kind of going to tie back to my faith and my
Mm,
belief that, God made everything and he made it beautiful and things. So, yeah, nature's always like really inspired me. I love seeing just creation, and like the mountains are huge inspiration to me. So, I just think, yeah, I just want to create art that resonates and shows those things in their best light, essentially. Um, and I don't want to, yeah, I always just wanted to come across very authentic, basically, to people through my art. And it's interesting because I didn't really like try to embed those things necessarily into my work. I think they just kind of automatically did and naturally did. Because people will just come up to my booth and be like, "Oh, I feel so peaceful being around the art," and I didn't like consciously like try to shove that in there, but like it's just kind of comes out of the pieces and comes out of me. So I guess so.
yeah.
But yeah, 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 just
How
being
has
true to what you believe and showing that through your piece.
how has God helped you with your art? How has he been present in your work, if at all? Or how has he been present in you, so that way you can also express that in your art?
Yeah, I've just always felt it was my calling to be positive, I suppose, and like create a positive place in the like space in the world and expression in the world, because it's just so dark and there's a lot of dark things, so a lot of dark art and things like that, at conventions such like that,
Yeah.
that I wanted to create a space, and I always felt that was part of like just part of me. And I try to stay out of politics and all sorts of things like that, just because it impacts how I create, and it's like I'm not as productive. But if I'm in a positive mindset and like been, doing my devotions daily and things like that, I feel like I'm always a lot more productive and creative, and my ideas flow better when I am in that headspace. So yeah, that just really helps my creative process, I'd say.